I always tell people, like, when they're like, what's it like to live in Vegas? I'm like, it is the largest small town you've ever
Yes,
lived in.
that's very true.
Right. And what's new, Vegas? I'm Shawn.
And I'm Scotty.
And this is Shawn and Scotty's
Hot
Topics. Living in Las Vegas edition.
Yes.
Okay. So let me start out by saying this. Once again,
Yes.
we are not outside because one is Hot Topics. Two,
Yes.
it is snowing in Las Vegas.
It is snowing outside.
So y'all, we're staying warm. We're staying inside, okay?
Hypothermia is not fun,
Exactly.
so we're inside.
We're also going to do things a little bit differently than we do on most Hot Topics. Usually we have like a structure.
Yes.
We're not doing
Ish.
structure-ish. Yeah, structure-ish.
Structure-ish.
But we are talking about something that I think a lot of people want to know about.
Yeah.
And that's living in Las Vegas.
Yes. Not visiting, but living.
Living. Now, here's how I came up with this. Okay? Two things.
Mm-hmm.
One, at least once a year. As you guys know, if you've been watching for a little bit, or if you're one of our brand new subscribers, thank you for being here. You may not know this. We both work on the Strip.
We do.
Okay. We interact with guests on
Every
the
day.
Strip every single day. At least once a year,
Mm-hmm.
I have a guest ask me what hotel I live in.
No way.
Absolutely, once a year.
I haven't had that.
Yeah,
That's so funny.
yeah. So, newsflash, I don't live in a hotel, okay?
This is not a cruise ship.
Exactly. So that's number one. Number two, I would say probably once a week or once every other week, someone asks me, hey, what's it like to living here? I'm considering moving to Las Vegas.
Uh-huh.
To which I normally reply, don't do it. No, just kidding.
He probably does.
I kind of do. But not for the reasons you might think. Because Vegas is a fabulous place to live, but there's definitely some things we should talk about.
It's fabulous depending on what you're looking for.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
definitely.
So I think our first point is this. Going back to the people who ask me once a year whether I live in a hotel, Vegas is a city. A complete and total city.
With suburbs and...
Yes, suburbs and residences and houses and condos and apartments and shopping and restaurants.
And, yeah. We have a Target and a Walmart.
Right,
we have all
exactly.
those, like, normal
malls,
things.
all kinds of things, okay?
Yes.
So, it is just pretty much Vegas in a lot of ways is very much like living any place.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's boring.
I mean,
Like, to me, the regular, like, day-to-day stuff is no different than living anywhere else.
right. I mean, except for the fact that you've got anything you want at your fingertips 24 hours a day. Okay. I mean,
Yes.
there aren't a lot of cities that if you want a fabulous steak at 3:45 a.m.,
You can go have that.
you can go get one, right?
Yes.
Um,
I've learned that by going back and, like, going home and visiting. Like, we're both from LA, so,
Right.
like, LA is fabulous and wonderful, but things close.
Yes.
And then you're like, what do I
Bars
do now?
close.
Yeah, like...
bars close.
You hear when I
in
hear
LA.
last call, you're like, what?
Oh my
What the heck
God.
is a last call? Like, I'm used to like being able to be out till the sun comes up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not the next day yet. Don't send me home.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. I'm not too drunk to be here. Don't send me home.
Yeah.
Right.
Or maybe I'm too drunk to leave.
Right. Exactly. So I think that's one of the things that we can put to bed right now. Vegas is a huge, huge city. It's got everything you want.
You could want. There's a lot of things to do outside of the Strip that are fun. We have a lot of hiking. We have
there's nature here.
Nature,
Right.
Yeah, we have the what do you call it? The preserve. So there's like animals. There's everything. Like there's literally everything here. Yeah.
I will say this though, okay, and it kind of goes back to that whole everything being at your fingertips 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
And everything that you could possibly want or create for yourself being here is both really incredibly fabulous and also really incredibly dangerous.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
And so that brings me to my next thing I tell people when they ask me about living in Vegas. Okay. Yes, it's wonderful. You can get anything you want. It's also really dangerous because if you like anything about Las Vegas, if you like drinking,
yeah,
if you like gambling, if you like tons of available sex, if you like any of those things, you're going to have really good self-control to live here.
Yeah. If you have a substance abuse issue or
impulse control issue,
Vegas is probably not the town for you. I know a really nice town in North Dakota that will work perfectly for you.
You can come and visit and lose your mind for a few days,
but you need to go home.
But yeah, exactly, because I don't know about you. I know I've had friends who have moved here.
Yeah.
Okay. Who have lasted less than 6 months.
I don't have that many. Mm-hmm. I mean, I know some people who have like, it hasn't been because of that, though more like it's just not their town and then they'll leave pretty quickly, but like not because of an issue like that. But I imagine it happens a lot. I've had coming here and losing all their money.
2 separate instances. I had one person who actually moved here. They signed a 6-month lease. They moved out on the day their lease was up. And that was basically because they could not live here. Mm-hmm. Like they just concluded they were partying, they were losing their mind, blah, blah, blah. They turned into a completely different person. They could not live here.
Yeah.
I also had one other person I know who moved here and literally filed for bankruptcy within 3 months.
Okay, yeah. See, those people shouldn't have even been a thought process to move here in the first place if you know you're going to have those kind of issues.
Right.
But, I mean, on the other hand, there's good stuff.
There is good stuff. And you can gamble and live here.
Yeah, okay. Gamble,
you can drink and live here.
Have a little fun.
You can have fun and live here. I mean, that's the thing. Yeah. But you have to be really good at the impulse control.
Yeah. Okay. My thing is I'm cheap. And so, and I mean, and that's good because I'm not going to spend all of my money on things that are unnecessary. You know,
so,
you go with a budget or you go what you can afford to lose. Like, I want to go play. Okay, cool. I'm going to take $50 and that's it.
Right.
And then when I lose that, that's it. You know,
I mean, I moved here in 2010.
Yeah.
Okay. And I would say that between 2010 and 2012, I learned this lesson a very hard way. Mm-hmm. Okay. Because I don't know how many paychecks I lost. I mean, like, it was a really, really big deal.
That's scary.
Exactly. But you know what? I think that if I'd actually been honest with myself before I moved here, I probably would have done things really differently, and I'm not quite sure I would have actually moved here.
Yeah.
The good thing about that, though, and the one thing that I think that Vegas will do if you do stick around, even if you do have those issues and you're able to overcome them, is it's actually going to tell you what kind of person you are.
Yeah.
And it's really going to make you a lot more aware of what you're capable of doing as far as being in control of yourself.
Yes.
So that's a big, big, big deal here.
And I mean, if you didn't move here, you wouldn't have met me and we wouldn't have this amazing channel.
Yeah, right,
so
exactly.
Everything happens for a reason. Yeah. So
and I'm not a crazy maniac anymore, staying in casinos till 7 o'clock in the morning every day. So.
I fixed that.
Yeah, exactly. No.
For like practical things, it is definitely changing just because we're getting like the new stadium, we're getting all of these new venues and things are happening. And this is apparently one of the most rapid growing cities in the United States. So traffic's going up a little bit, but they definitely are like compared to sitting in the hour and a half traffic to go 20 miles in Los Angeles, traffic's a lot better. The housing prices are a lot better.
We're getting more culture.
It's about half. We're getting more, which it makes me so happy.
Exactly.
That's the thing I missed about LA most is like being able to go to all of the like museums and these things and see
performances that aren't on the strip.
Yeah, and just like the old architecture and buildings and stuff like that. And so I hated that. I felt like Vegas didn't have any culture, and now it's starting to like evolve. And
we have a whole Symphony Park area which is dedicated to culture now.
Yeah,
Smith Center, Performing Arts Center, all that kind of stuff that's here now.
The Smith has become one of my favorite places to go see a show. It's beautiful. So if you're visiting or planning a move, make sure you see a show there.
I don't want to keep being the negative person about this topic because I can hear the comments already. Like
it's so negative.
Right.
That one was from your mom.
Thanks. I think one of the things that surprised me the most when I moved here was the amount of crime in Las Vegas. know if you're going to live here that if you moved from anywhere else, the crime rate is probably higher.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
here in Las Vegas, it just is.
Yeah. I mean, it's not that much higher than a normal like metropolitan area, though. I feel like.
Well, I'll tell you, when I moved here, the chance. Okay, I looked it up. Okay. When I lived in LA, the area I lived in, which was like West Hollywood-ish, you had a 1 in 400 chance within a year of being the victim of a violent crime.
Oh, God.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
In Las Vegas, the statistic is 1 in 45.
Yeah, that's horrible.
Yeah. So you have like 100 times more you have 100 times greater chance of being involved in a violent crime living here than you do in metropolitan Los Angeles.
Yeah.
But there's a few things to be said about that. One, most of the violent crimes that happen here are property crimes.
Okay.
Burglary, things like that. So even though that's not pleasant, it's not like, 1 in 45 people get murdered. So that's
good.
Okay. So I mean that counts under like violent crime, like strong arm robberies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think also the thing that you want to kind of keep in mind is that the stats are slightly skewed on that 1 in 45 because they do take into account the Strip.
Right. And the Strip is totally different from the rest of the city.
Exactly.
And that encompasses its own issues.
Yeah.
And its own like police force and everything.
Yeah.
Like it's totally different.
I do think you have an increased rate of property crime in the suburbs here. Like
that is true.
Home invasions, break-ins, things like that.
It's definitely about being aware of your surroundings and know what's going on in your community is like a really good thing.
Exactly.
Neighborhood watches and such like that.
I think also like knowing who to trust in the city too is probably a good idea.
Yeah.
And I think that, I mean, look, crime happens everywhere. Break-ins happen everywhere. Home invasions happen everywhere. But it just does happen at a slightly increased rate here. I mean, there are just some things about the economics of our city that create it to happen. And like, for instance, one of the great things about living in Nevada is that there's no state income tax.
Amazing.
Really good. You get to put more of your check in your pocket. One of the bad things about not having state income tax is that there is very limited resources for social services.
Yes. If you need help or anything, it's very, very limited. I actually had this come up with my my family. I do have a member of my family who is autistic, but he wanted to live here. And there just wasn't the available things that he needed or things that could be provided by our community for him. So
yeah. So I mean that's definitely a big drawback, and I think that ties into the crime,
right?
Because you do have that lack of like social support system,
those people might have needed that help or whatever,
right? So I mean it's a double-edged sword, like a lot of things here.
Yeah.
So that's something that if you're going to move here, you should probably keep in mind.
Yeah.
What your sort of like situation is.
Right.
What you're willing to tolerate, things like that.
Another thing probably to bring up is like the education system. Although UNLV is a great college, university, the schooling system here, in the state in general, is a little lackluster compared to some other states. It's not the best for raising a family. I mean, there's definitely great schools. There's great teachers, which I know a lot of. I have a younger brother, but I still think overall our system could be greatly improved.
And I agree with you. And I think that one of the things that might actually help that a lot on an individual basis if you are going to be living here is to really pay attention to the community that you move into.
Right. You want to look up those schools. You want to look up the places you're going to visit and go to and all of that.
And really, really, really look at like the programs they offer and the funding because it isn't consistent at all.
Yeah. And one thing about Vegas, too, that you'll see is, like, you could be driving and you can see as the area changes. Like, Like, it doesn't, like, flow. It'll be like, oh, this area looks so beautiful and this is so great. And then, boom.
Yeah.
You're like, whoa, where am I?
Oh, that brings me to a really good tip, too. Okay. If you are thinking about moving here, make sure, if, like, say you're going to rent an apartment, make sure you do it in person.
Yeah.
Okay? Make sure you do not rent one from the internet.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
go ahead.
I don't want to make like general statements, like, because, there's issues in every community here or whatever, but like I've noticed the closer you are to the Strip is probably not the safest because there, you know, it's more people. There's more chance of things happening. So living more in the suburban areas, a little bit further out, is feels a lot safer to me.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you know, when I moved here, I decided to move 4 miles from the Strip.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason for that. Yeah. Okay, I'm not necessarily in the suburbs. I'm definitely not in the suburbs. I'm in central Las Vegas. Okay, yeah. I am 4 miles from the Strip though, and 2 miles technically if you go straight down. Honestly, straight down. 4 miles Strip center. But here's the thing. I did that for a specific reason, and that is I am far enough away from the Strip that I don't have to deal with the craziness. Yeah. But I'm close enough to enjoy it and go there when I need to. Yeah. And so I would say choose your community very, very, very carefully. Yeah.
I suppose my family is 20 minutes away from the Strip. Right. But that's just, you know, kids, like, you know, younger brother and like it's different. Like it just depends on what you're looking for.
Now, can I go back to the renting online thing, though?
Yes.
Okay, and I really mean this because, one, you're living in who knows where, right? Yeah. You're thinking, Vegas is glamorous and wonderful and awesome and all of it is beautiful and I'm going to be great and no matter where. And that is so not the truth, okay? There are some neighborhoods here you do not want to live in, okay?
Definitely.
Yeah. And I found that out the hard way because when I was looking for a place to live, I was living in LA. I had a short window to move here. I was really trying to maximize that time. And I ended up actually renting a place on the internet.
Okay.
Beautiful. Beautiful pictures. I mean, like, it was amazing. Okay? Okay. So, picture, if you will, I luckily decide before I signed my actual lease, okay? Because I was like, they wanted me to sign a lease. They sent me a lease, everything. Like, just do it. You'll have a place to live when you get here.
Do it.
Do it. So I decided, you know what, I'm gonna take a weekend up and I'm gonna go finalize the lease in person. And so we pull up to the front of the building, and first of all, not in a good neighborhood. Mm-hmm. To walk up in the very front of the building, like where the entrance is, covered in graffiti. Now, mind you, the pictures on the internet, no, they're not covered in graffiti.
They had just painted.
Right, exactly. I think they may have been from when the building was built like 10 years ago or something, you know, like they never updated the pictures. I literally walk into the lobby, and the first thing I'm greeted with is a laundry room that the window to the laundry room has been busted out and the machines have been pried open.
Oh, my Lord.
I never finalized my lease, needless to say.
Yeah, I'm really happy you decided to do that. And I feel like if you're coming from, like, a long distance, because you're only from LA, so that's easy to come. Sometimes people are coming from further distances. I have a family friend who moved from Georgia, and what she did was get like a nice weekly and like a nice community. She asked, you know, people who lived here, okay, what's a good state? And then she looked. Yes. And when she moved, there's a lot of like storage, holding things that you can do now. You don't have to bring all your stuff with you the second you come. Yeah. And so that's what they did, and they looked and they found the community that worked for them.
Absolutely. So, and if you are going to come to Vegas to live and you're going to start out in a weekly or a monthly, because there's a lot of them here.
There are.
Tons, okay? Do your research.
Do your research on that too. Yeah. But even still, like, you want to be stuck somewhere for a year,
right? Exactly.
Or you want to be stuck somewhere for
30 days.
Yeah, exactly. Or a week, or whatever.
7 days. Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, if it's $180 a week, like maybe you just say forget it and leave. You know, if you really feel that uncomfortable, as opposed to being stuck in a lease would be terrible.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what about some of the differences of living here versus living other places, like in your day-to-day life? I know one of the things that sticks out to me the most is the prevalence of like your social interaction with your neighbors and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Pretty much happens in like local bars, local gathering places, more than it does in other areas, I think.
So you feel like the community is like you do socialize with your neighbors more here, or what you're saying?
I have two parts to this. One, I feel like if there is interaction in your community with your neighbors and things like that, it's probably going to be around some social gathering. Okay. And there's a lot of local bars here. And I think one of the reasons there's a lot of local bars here is for that exact reason. I really do believe it's like the primary gathering spot in your neighborhood.
It's like the local bar.
Interact with your people that you live near. Maybe your experience is different. I know in like Central Vegas, that's the...
Well, no, there's actually a really nice like local like tavern or like whatever you call it right there by my house too. And I always notice there's like a lot of locals and everyone knows everyone and... So that's kind of cool.
And the local bars are actually really quite amazing. They're a great place to go drink.
Yeah.
Because there's plenty of alcohol and it's always free if you're gambling.
Cheap food.
Right. The food's always cheap and delicious.
Yes. Always greasy and oilable.
Right. So the local bars are going to be kind of your social hub of your neighborhood. And that's just the way it is. That's where you're going to meet people. And I think the other thing that's kind of along those lines is that it's really hard to meet and develop friendships in Las Vegas.
I think most of them you'll develop through where you work.
Absolutely.
To be honest. It's like that'll be the starting point of building friendships and people you'll go out with. That's what I did when I first moved here was like my coworkers that I liked, we'd go and do stuff and then you kind of bridge out from there.
We met working together.
We did.
So there you go. And I'll say this too. Like I think one of the things about this city is it's highly transient. Okay, people come here, they leave. They come here, they leave. They come here to set up a family, decide it's not for them. They come here to win all the casino's money and go bankrupt. I mean, like people come here for a million reasons, and a lot of people don't like last. And part of the problem with that is that it creates a culture within the community where people don't want to get to know people because they've been burned way too many times.
Exactly. Yeah. A lot of people are really jaded and you notice it and it kind of sucks because like that's probably one of my biggest complaints about this town is that like everyone seems like everybody's just like a passerby. Nobody's there, permanently in your life. It's kind of like you kind of just, okay, if they disappear, you're like, whatever, and you don't build those solid friendships.
Right. Right. Because you can't.
This one.
Exactly.
This is a good one.
Because you can't. Because, people, you get hurt.
Yeah, you do.
You get attached. You get hurt. You can only do that so many times. So
before you're like, forget it, whatever.
Right. I think that's probably the most difficult thing about living in Las Vegas. But I will say this. Some of the strongest friendships I've ever developed have probably been here.
That's crazy. It's either all the way to the extreme on either side. Yeah.
Because it's like, I think you don't meet a lot, but the ones you do get to know and do let you in.
And the ones who are staying.
Yeah. Right, exactly. I will say, though, it took years. It took years. I worked someplace else. I worked on the Strip, someplace else that we both worked at.
Yeah, we both worked at.
When I first got here. And I knew my coworkers for 3 years of living in Las Vegas. I would say before any of them really sort of broke the ice and decided that I was
cool enough,
more than just an acquaintance.
Okay.
And at one point it was, I think, just because they knew I was going to stay.
I feel like my personality might be a little different, I made friends a little bit faster. But honestly, not all of those friends I still have. So it doesn't. I mean, it's either way. So like, it really doesn't matter. I made friends quickly, but the friends weren't solid.
I'm just talking about the ones that like let me into their life, though. Like really let me in.
Well, I mean, no, I've had really good friends here who've just like, okay, I'm leaving, right. And you're like, oh, and then you don't hear from them anymore. You hear from them like once every 6 months or something, Exactly. So that kind of sucks. Can I throw in a quick thing?
Yeah, please.
If you are a member of the LGBTQ community...
Oh, yeah, this is a good one, yeah.
Let me just put it out there. For me personally, I do not like the community because there is no community. That's honestly.
That's true.
There's no central hub. Like, if you go to San Francisco, there's like the Castro, there's like, West Hollywood.
Yeah.
It's like a whole community. Everyone lives there. Everyone knows everybody. Here, it's more so like visitors. And then we have like a small area of like clubs, but that's not a community.
Right. No, it's not.
A few bars.
We have the Fruit Loop, as they call it.
Okay, like that's 4 places. Yeah, like that's not.
Yeah, and there's no community. There's no one living there. There's no one. There's nothing. Yeah.
And so hookup culture is really, really heavy. So if you're someone who, like myself, is more directed to like long-term relationships and commitment and things like that, then it's probably not the place for you to meet somebody.
Can we discuss the homophobia here too?
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Since we went there.
We're going there.
Exactly. So as I mentioned, I lived in West Hollywood before moving here, which is like gay mecca. Okay, I mean, like it is literally like there's not a gayer place on the planet. Okay. Prior to that, I grew up in the San Fernando Valley in Los Angeles. I mean, like it was really quite something. I never in my life experienced real, actual homophobia until I moved to Las Vegas. I will never forget the one day I was like leaving that place we used to like work at, and dressed really nice, and like the first day that someone yelled the other F word out the like door of their car at me.
I've gotten that a few times.
I get I've been to places here that I've been harassed. Something really, 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 really awful and life-threatening happened to me as a result of homophobia in the city that I legally cannot talk about. That could have very well ended in me not being on this planet anymore. Things, if you're going to move here and you are a member of our community, just be aware that you are not living in utopia, gay utopia.
Yeah, you're not in the most accepting city. You're not in the most community-driven city.
Yeah.
You're definitely like on your own a little bit. Yeah.
Well, because like Vegas, I always tell people like when they're like, "What's it like to live in Vegas?" I'm like, "It is the largest small town you've ever."
Yes, that's very true.
Right, and that's really what it is like for me as far as being gay in Vegas.
Everyone knows everyone.
Everyone knows everyone. Everyone knows what you're doing, and in addition to that, that small town mentality is really prevalent here in a lot of ways. And it's changing, by the way. That is changing. I will say I've noticed the last couple of years, like as we become more metropolitan and more arts and all this stuff we just talked about, I think the acceptance is changing here a little bit.
Definitely.
Yeah, but you still have that small town homophobic kind of thing to deal with living here.
Yeah.
And that's unfortunate.
It's sad.
Yeah. What else?
So I just don't want anyone to think like, because we said we gave a lot of real facts, but it's not a terrible place to live.
It isn't. And here's the thing.
It's a good place to live.
In doing research for this, okay, I was a little pissed off, okay? Yeah. Because in doing research for this particular Hot Topics, I went online and I looked at other lists and I wanted to see what other people said about things you need to know before you live in Las Vegas. And every single one of them was like, sunshine and lollipops, and it's the most fabulous place to live.
That's not true.
Nothing ever bad happens there, and it's nonstop excitement and entertainment. You're going to love living here. And I just kept thinking every one of these freaking lists was written by someone who's never lived here.
Right.
Okay? Because the reality is not that. The reality is not sunshine and lollipops. It is a wonderful place to live. I can never imagine at this point in my life, at this time, after living here, ever living anywhere else.
Yeah.
I can't imagine it. I love being here.
Yeah.
I love the city. I love what it has to offer. I love the entertainment. I love the access to everything. I love being here. I love the opportunity. That is one thing we should talk about. This is going to be like a 5-hour long like Hot Topics, but there is so much opportunity in this city.
Yes.
This is one city where you can come having nothing and build yourself up to something. People do it all the time. It is a great place to reinvent yourself. It is a great place to make a life that you've always envisioned for yourself. It really is the land of opportunity in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
That is what brings a lot of people here. I think that is one of the best things about living here.
Yeah.
But again, it's not all sunshine, lollipops, and rainbows.
Our car insurance is really high.
Car insurance is high.
That's just a random fact I have to throw out there.
Homeowners insurance is high.
Yeah.
All that stuff is high just because of the stuff that...
your electricity bill in the summer is high.
Yes.
But your rent is half.
Yeah, your rent is like, oh my God, cost of living. We didn't even talk about cost of living.
Cost of living.
Cost of living here is insanely cheap, okay? I mean, rent is going up. We're getting more metropolitan, so I mean, whatever. But you can live like royalty here for nothing.
the shack that you would purchase in other cities,
Right.
will buy you a very, very nice home here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like, I'm paying less than $1,000 a month for a reasonably nice apartment. Okay, that's safe. So
Yeah.
you know, my place in West Hollywood right now, I checked the other day,
It's like
is renting for $3,400 a month, and it's a hovel. Okay. So yeah, no, I mean, like, you can live here for nothing.
Yeah. Don't get us wrong. Like, we love our city, right?
We love living here.
Yes.
Love Las Vegas.
We wouldn't do this show.
Right. We wouldn't have our channel. We wouldn't do anything. We wouldn't encourage you to come here.
And visit us,
Yeah.
see us, find us, all that, those great things.
I mean, we really, really, really do love the city. But we're not going to lie to you.
Yes.
Okay, and never about anything.
Yeah, I don't want to lie.
Yeah, and if it is comes down to us being honest, we're going to be honest, and just our honest opinion of living here, and it's only our opinion too.
Yeah.
So, if you have a different experience or a different opinion, that's what the comment section's for, and I really welcome you to leave them. I would like to know what your impression of living in Las Vegas is. This is the impression too of two people who moved here from LA.
Maybe someone has a different opinion from a different city.
Different city.
Small town or something.
Exactly. Or if you were born and raised here. People who were born and raised here love Las Vegas. Okay. Like, they'll defend the city forever.
But that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, just let us know what you think. This is just our impression.
Yeah.
It's just our opinion. You're entitled to your opinion.
This is a whole opinion piece.
Exactly. So leave that in the comments below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Please subscribe. Hit the notifications icon. You're not going to want to miss the rest of these that we do. We're going to be back out when it is not a blizzard outside.
Yes, when schools are not closed, and stores are not closed, and we'll go outside. So I don't want to see.
It wasn't quite
any
that
of
bad,
that.
but yes, but yeah.
No, schools actually closed.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
So just so you know.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, during the blizzard.
Okay. Yeah.
Anyways,
the Great Blizzard, the Great Las Vegas Blizzard.
They're gonna talk about this blizzard in like 5 years. The Great Blizzard of
Las Vegas.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
But yeah, we'll be back outside soon. Hope you love this, and it was really good spending some time with you guys.
Yeah. If you like this, like I really enjoyed this. Like this, us just speaking and being natural. If you like this kind of thing, please let us know.
We'd like to do more of it. I mean, look, we love bringing you information about Las Vegas.
Yes.
Okay. But we also want to connect with you and build a community and know about what you guys think. And we want you guys to know us, and we want to build that. So we would like to do more of this for you guys. Okay. Meantime, see you guys again soon, and we will continue to answer the question: What's new, Vegas?